Well, we are alive, pals, and once again, I am joined by the one and only Jay. How you doing, my friend?
Someone told me there was a party going on tonight in Greenville.
Woo! I'm glad you brought
Woo!
that back. I love that. I love that every time. So once again, you guys are joining us on Jay and Tyler Drink and Watch Wrestling. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed so far. Jay, you left me in the dark. I don't know exactly what you have planned for today. Well, that's a lie. You did tell me off air, so I could have the queued up, so we wouldn't waste too much time in getting into it. So, how about for the viewers out there? Let us know what's going on today. What are we watching?
We're watching one near and dear, close and personal to my heart. It is Bret, the Hitman Hart, versus Psycho Sid, versus the defending World Wrestling Federation champion Shawn Michaels in a triple threat match, which is a dark match from, it's touted as the February 3rd Monday Night Raw, but in actuality it was from January 31st, 1997. My second ever house show, first ever at the Sky Dome, and it was just an outstanding match and brings me back to my childhood, brings me back to all the feels. Just a beautiful piece in wrestling history.
So, what was your first ever house show, if you don't mind me asking?
It was the WWF Experience at the CNE.
Ah, that's right. You did say that on air last time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
for me personally, I've never watched this match before, so I'm pretty excited about it. I know all about it. Obviously, for those of you that listen, we are from the Toronto area, Mike and myself and Jay. I've
Ontario,
never
Canada.
Ontario, Canada, not Calgary,
No.
Alberta, Canada, Toronto.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think maybe let's just jump right into this and we can kind of chat about it. I know this is right in your area of expertise, so
And this one, as I said, holds a bit of a special place in my heart. So I would like to start off when we begin with a little bit of volume, just so we can experience some of what's going on, if that's okay with you.
all right, let me turn up my volume a little bit here. I don't want it to overshadow.
No, of course.
You ready for me to give you a countdown here?
Yeah, man.
Do you want to give the YouTube link? I'll post it as well, but if you want to
It
just let
is
people know.
actually Andy WWE, so it's ANDYYY WWE. It is WWF Championship match. HBK versus Bret versus Sid, and it's 19 minutes and 17 seconds.
All right, and we are going to start it in 3, 2, 1, play. Well, now I know exactly why you want to hear it. This is the classic, as I've known you for many years. This is the Jay House Show.
All three men are in the ring.
This guy's very underrated. Bill Dunn. You might remember him from such events as WrestleMania 10.
Okay.
When he introduced
He
Owen
does
and
the
Bret.
first match, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He did a lot of television at the time. Superstars, All American, Mania, things like that. And a lot of house shows. So we have a special boxing legend as the special guest enforcer for the match, which is Canada's own George Chuvalo.
Oh, I love George Chuvalo.
I can't describe to you enough how much I love watching these old Sky Dome shows.
Who's that with Chuvalo? Holy moly. For those of you that don't know George Chuvalo, he is a local boxer that went the distance with Muhammad Ali when Ali was in his prime in Maple Leaf Gardens. He's very famous around our area. Oh, and the pyro. I think I'm about 3 or 4 seconds ahead of you on mine, but that pyro.
That's okay.
Oh, and here comes the man that rules the world.
Who's the man?
Sid was awesome here.
This is prime Sid. Like I was talking about the other match about, or sorry, the other podcast about Bulldog being in his prime in 96, 97. Same with Sid.
Yeah, Sid was great here. I also, and I don't know if you saw much of this, but I really enjoyed Sid's run in ECW as well.
Yeah, I remember having a cup of coffee during it.
He did. He had a cup of coffee, but like he would just come out and destroy, John Cronus or Spike Dudley or somebody, but the crowd would just lose their minds about it.
It's like somebody killing Cheeseburger these days.
Look at this packed house at the Dome.
Yeah, this brings me back all the feels. So when I was at this event, I remember I was about 12 years old, and actually no, I was 13, and I had this white pullover sweatshirt that was blank, and I remember getting like this fashion paint and writing out all the different logos for the different superstars and wearing it. I made my own merch back then.
That's smart. You probably saved yourself $40 on a shirt.
Probably did, yeah.
Who we got next? They going with Bret, or are they going to bring Sean out? Hometown gets the end, or the champ? Oh, they're going with Bret.
Yeah, I prefer that though.
Me too.
I don't like it when you have the challenger come out, when you have the champion come out.
I like the house show vibes too.
Oh, me too.
There he comes. So what? This is 96 or 7? This is 97, right?
January 31st, 97. Yeah, I was going to say
this was right after the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, exactly. About 12 days removed. And what I was going to say was, I don't like when you have the challenger come out second because they're the bigger star. Like, that's one thing I didn't care for back in the Attitude Era, was when you had like Rock as champion come out first and then Austin came out second.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Like, I remember when Austin came out for WrestleMania 17 and he was the challenger. That pop that he got when the glass smash and he came out as a challenger was so awesome.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been the same if you had Rock come out first.
Look at Bret. Bret's ready to go.
This is back.
Always over in Toronto. Yeah, get those glasses. I always wanted Bret Hart's glasses. I bought a pair back in the day.
You can get them on BretHart.com.
Yeah, but they're expensive.
They are. I think
they're too overpriced.
$25, $30 a piece plus shipping.
Yeah. Now I think you can get an autographed pair as well, which if they're $50 and they're autographed, I would think about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I've got a few Bret Hart autographs. I've met Bret a couple times. He's a great guy.
Yeah, I met him once on King Street in Toronto. I'll tell you that story one day. It was an incredible experience. Nicest guy in the world.
I met Bret Hart at an indie show the last time, and I actually have one of my favorite pieces of memorabilia from that show. I've got the original program from his debut in Maple Leaf Gardens, and I got him to sign it. There's a whole page ad on him. And his name is Buddy the Heartthrob.
I remember you telling me about that. What a cool piece of trivia.
Yeah, and I should post a picture. I should post a picture and put that on our Facebook page.
That's so awesome.
But he and I asked him about it. I said, Bret, what's up with the name Buddy the Heartthrob? He looked at me, like, just pissed off as it was yesterday, and goes, "Fucking Barry Horwood stole my name." But his memory is great because inside the program, so backstory, there's an author from Toronto. He writes some amazing books. His name's Greg Oliver.
Yep.
Check out Greg Oliver's work, guys, if you've never checked it out.
As Sean is doing his pose in the ring and doing his fanfare.
Yeah. He's got a good pop, too. This is before Sean was really hated in Toronto. But Greg Oliver gave me a program to give to Bret because I said I was going to meet him. Mm-hmm. And then I purchased one for myself. And before we even opened it up and looked at it, I asked Bret Hart, I said, do you remember anything about this night? I said, here's this program. Greg Oliver told me to give it to you. This is your first night at Maple Leaf Gardens. I go, what do you remember about this night? He goes, oh, this was a great night. I worked Kabuki. And he remembered exactly who he worked.
Yeah.
From 1983. Like, unbelievable.
Yeah, that's one thing about Bret. Like, I think it's maybe a bit biased on you and I's standpoint because we're both huge Bret marks, but it really Canadian. Bothers me when people just crap on him. I mean, I just...
and I get why people do because Oh, yeah, no love lost there between these guys. And yeah,
Sorry.
and here comes Sid.
Holy cow.
Whoa.
Double noggin knocker there.
Yeah, I love it. Sid always had those big punches too, eh? The big wind-up punches.
Yeah, love his clotheslines as well.
Here we go.
Yeah.
What's we got?
This, by the way, folks,
Oh,
is with no commentary. So I'm going to turn up the volume just a little bit so you can hear the sound of the mat. It sounds different than you normally would hear at that time period.
yeah, it is a little different. You're right. Earl Hebner in there, referee. Sid's just taking control of this match. There's the big Sid punch. Look at the sell by Sean, too. We talked about Flair selling in the last
Outstanding. This was actually the setup as well for subsequent house shows for the next 2.5 years in terms of the way that they laid out the Sky Dome. They did it in the way that they would for a Raptors game.
Yeah. Oof.
Oh, boy.
Sid is just not having any time for Sean, eh?
Just gave him some help there.
Here we go, laying into Bret now. And that's the smart way to do the triple threat, because triple threats are tough. You get rid of one guy, keep laying him out, and focus. It's almost like a one-on-one at that point, right? That's psychology, apparently. Oh, Sean's coming in the hard way there. Pardon me. My Crown Royal went down the wrong way there.
It happens.
And here we go. And now it's time for Sean to take over a little bit. Oh, he's tuning up the band already. Look out. This is over. Oh, Sid got it. Oh, boy.
Oh,
Psycho
I
Sid
love
is looking. Wow.
his choke slams.
Holy
cow. Did Sean get up for him?
Yeah. No kidding.
Holy cow. Sound like Lee Trevino.
Wrong.
Holy cow.
Look at Bret playing possum in the corner. That's classic Bret Hart right there,
is.
too. I have one of my favorite, I say this every episode. I got to stop saying this. One of my favorite live moments is I'm a massive football fan in real life. And I'm a Cincinnati Bengals fan.
Sorry,
I've never.
Is this not real life?
Oh, well, outside of my wrestling world.
I'm just busting balls.
Pardon me. Outside of the wrestling world, I am also a massive football fan. I am a diehard Cincinnati. I'm a huge Cincinnati Bengals fan. The Bret bump.
Oh, vintage Bret. Christ.
And into the chin music, too. Holy moly.
So that sternum first turnbuckle, Bret, nobody did it better.
No. And it just looked like he comes out of a cannon, you know what I mean?
Sorry, you were saying about your football.
I went the first house show I ever went to at the Sky Dome. Now I'd been to a couple house shows, and I'll tell you right now, the very first ever WWF show I went to was in 1992. It was at the Ray Twinney Complex in Newmarket, Ontario, and the main event was Ric Flair versus the Macho Man Randy Savage, which is unreal. It's the only time. Like that, crazy. Undertaker was on the card. The Texas Tornado was on the card. It was a stack card. But the first house show I ever went to on my own. That
should have been Ric Flair's promo, "The Tear in My Eye." With a tear in my eye, I had to perform in front of Newmarket, Ontario, with 50 people in the crowd.
No kidding. Yeah, there was only a couple. There was a couple hundred people for sure. You know what I mean? But the first house show I went to on my own, as I was in grade 9 at the time, was Bret Hart and the Hart Foundation run. It was when he was hurt at the time, and the main event was Austin and Undertaker. But Brian Pillman was getting ready to do a run-in for Owen Hart.
Saturday night, June 14th. I was there.
You know it, right?
I was there too.
Well, my seats were, I was sitting right over the entrance, and I could see backstage because they didn't have it blocked off, right? It was very loosey-goosey at the time.
Yeah.
And I looked down, and 10 feet away from me on a downward slope is Brian Pillman staring to do his run-in. And I'm Pillman, look at me. I'm a kid, right? Mm-hmm. And some guy looks at me out of nowhere, some random guy, and goes, call him a Cincinnati Bengal. I had no idea what he was talking about. I didn't even watch football at the time, right?
Right.
Hey, Pillman, you Cincinnati Bengal? And he gave me the look up and the old, wink and the smile. And that was it.
That's
years
awesome.
later. Years later, I got into football, and I was an immediate Bengals fan because of Brian Pillman.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah,
actually an awesome
that's my.
story.
What's that?
That's actually an awesome story. I love that story.
Yeah, and that's a big Pillman mark, so I had to stick with it. So now I'm a massive. I've been to Cincinnati for a Bengals game. Wow, Shawn Michaels.
Holy
Sorry, we'll
cow.
get that. Enough about my blubbering Bengals love here.
No. That's great. But that was a hell of a clothesline by Sid. Holy mackerel! And now big leg drop. Sid is so underrated. I mean, come on.
He is underrated and not underrated. It depends on the day for him, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think it depends
January,
on who he's in
so
there
there's no softball right now.
Yeah, that's right. I was gonna say, is it softball season?
I love how Sid call it powerbomb.
Oh, he took care of Bret on that one too.
Yeah, he did. But he gives great power bombs.
He gives some terrifying power bombs too. There's some job
guys
in WCW in the early '90s.
I've seen the War Games.
Oh yeah, Pillman's feet hit the cage. That was terrible.
Oh, look at Bret pulling out a pair of scissors.
Yeah. These guys are bumping around great, though. They're making Sid look like $1 million.
This apparently is
This
is the match apparently where Shawn tweaked his knee, which forced him to lose a smile, I suppose.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I wonder where he did it. Look at Chevalo. He's just been an afterthought this whole match.
Yeah, no, he's there. He's there for a payday.
Hey, good for him, man. He's a great guy, and I recommend people look at his story. It's a real tragic story with him.
Yeah.
But great representative of the community.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive. I think he's one of those Canadians that are very underrated as far as what they've done for the community in the sports world.
Oh,
Bret Hart,
like a Luthez press almost.
Yeah.
Oh, this brings me back to yesteryear, man.
Woo. Bret's on fire right now.
He totally is. Clothesline over the top.
I love the Bret Hart inverted atomic drop.
Oh, it's the build, right? Where's the Russian leg sweep? There we go.
I wish Shawn didn't. That's a little bit oversell on Shawn there. That's the Hulk Hogan douchebag sell there.
No, I'm okay with
I wish he would.
I don't mind it. It wasn't so much that it wasn't the douchey SummerSlam 05.
Oh,
no. There we go. Russian leg sweep.
Russian leg sweep. I dare you to find a better Russian leg sweep.
What? This is a hell of a match, eh?
I'm enjoying it. I've never watched this match before, so
yeah.
I think, and everyone's had their chance to shine. Shawn hasn't really shined yet. He's kind of been
this is vintage Bret.
Yeah, this is the Bret Hart playbook, right?
And I love it. And so this is the thing, like everybody says, okay, well, Bret always did the same things in every match. And I think to myself, okay, well, didn't everybody? Everybody had a move set.
Right?
Like Flair had the same
thing. Go up to the Bret rope. Here he is going up to the Bret rope.
What do you think? What's your take? So do you think Flair was a better in ring or Bret?
I think Bret.
I think so too.
I think Flair is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. But if you're going by just technique and believability and making everything mean something, I don't think there's anybody better than Bret Hart.
I completely agree.
I think
everything has a purpose. Everything has a motivation. Oh,
that might have been where he tweaked his knee, right?
I think so. Yeah,
that was a weird looking bump.
Can't wait for you to see the finish of this match because the finish of this match is so brilliant. Oh, that was like the old heart attack. Where was Jim Neidhart?
No kidding. The anvil, baby. Stroke that goatee.
I'm glad you said goatee because I wasn't sure we were going with that.
We're live, pal.
We're not that live.
We're
recording this about Blue Hour, apparently.
No kidding.
Yeah.
You were saying about comparing Bret and Ric Flair, and I think that it's the Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, and Ric Flair. I think are three of the best of all time, and there's such in three different ways. Sure. You know what I mean? That's a great shot. Oh, look who it is!
That's because he has long legs, right?
Oh, here comes Chevalo. Austin, you don't want to mess with the boxers,
And
man. Tyson.
This is where Chuvalo earns his pay.
He doesn't really look like he's comfortable here. There we go. Oh,
Oh,
great sell. Great
punch.
sell by Austin on an awkward delivery by Chuvalo.
See,
Look at Austin
that
selling.
sell wasn't any worse than Sean's sell for what you were talking about earlier.
I wonder if Chuvalo clipped him there.
I don't know.
Chuvalo almost took a tumble coming out of the ring.
Love how he has his wrist taped.
See, I don't mind Austin selling like a dickhead for Chuvalo. When Sean does it to an actual worker, I think is disrespectful.
Oh, that's because Sean's a dick at this time.
That is true. This may be the best Sid match I've ever watched.
I don't know. I've seen him face Heath Slater, so.
Hey, I like that little program Heath did.
Mm-hmm.
He's got kids, man.
Oh, here we go. Another powerbomb.
Great reversal. Whoa, Sean from out of nowhere with the body.
This is the greatest finish
what
ever.
a great finish. Yeah, it's a great finish. And Bret
It protects
Bret
everybody.
Sean's fired up. You can tell he's hurt. He's fired up.
He screwed up his leg for sure.
See him? Give me the fucking belty mouth there.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it's well. Now he's running around. So
Well, he was doing moonsaults 2 weeks after he lost his smile too. So.
Yeah, there's dickhead Sean.
You can see him favoring his leg.
Bret's pissed. Great sell job by Bret.
Well, because it's legit. That's why.
Yeah, and Sid doesn't give a shit. On to the next town. Let me bump my fist.
Yeah, exactly. Where's the Cracker Barrel?
No kidding. That was a good call, man. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was a hell of a match, huh?
Look at Bret. Bret knows how to make it. That's one thing that you don't see in wrestling a lot anymore is people pissed off that they're losing.
No, it's just more or less like, well, I mean,
And that's something that pissed me off when Kofi Kingston lost the belt.
took the words right out of my mouth.
Right?
I mean,
like Kofi lost the belt and
you
didn't give a fuck.
you lose the belt, and the next week you're throwing pancakes. Like, get lost.
Yeah. Well, man, I think that was a great call, man, and we'll put a bow on this one. Thanks a lot for picking that one, and thanks for watching wrestling with me, man.
Yeah, man, my pleasure. And as far as I'm concerned, it's what the world is watching.
Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.